Well, Democrats against the rails again today, trying to explain why projected job losses in this country are a good thing. Earlier this week, the nonpartisan CBO, Congressional Budget Office, said Obamacare will lead to about 2 million fewer people being in the workforce, and the White House said this is great. Then yesterday, the CBO announced that the president's proposal to raise the minimum wage in this country to $10.10 an hour will cost about 500,000 jobs, maybe as many as 1 million in 2016, and they're attempting to dismiss that. Dr. Charles Krauthammer is a Fox News contributor and author of the book Things That Matter. Charles, so it's either good news, like don't worry, it's good they're leaving the workforce voluntarily, or in the case of the CBO today saying, raising the minimum wage is going to cost between 500,000 and 1 million jobs. You can't believe that CBO. That CBO we've touted repeatedly to you as nonpartisan believable. Forget them. They don't know what they're talking about.
Look, this is what the administration does when the CBO, whom it's been touting for 2, 3, 4 years as the nonpartisan, the arbiter of disputes, whenever it brings something that is obvious but doesn't help them, politically they say it's not true. Look, a child can tell you that if you raise the minimum wage by 1/3, you're going to get fewer jobs. There are reams, there are years of economic studies that show that, and it's obvious. All that the CBO did was to give it a number, roughly 500,000. So what you get is a trade-off. Some of the people at the minimum wage are going to get more income, and that's good. And there are going to be about 500,000 who are going to go from $7 an hour to zero. They're going to be destitute. And worse, because more than half the minimum wage earners are people under 25, this is their one chance at opportunity, the first job, to get experience, to get the habit, to get into the workforce, and they're going to lose that leg up on the ladder, the one that Obama always talks about as the ideal that he's trying to construct. So it totally contradicts what Obama pretends his economic policy is, which is to give people the tools and the opportunity to climb into the middle class. That's why the White House had to dismiss the numbers, even though they are obvious to everybody who can see them.
But it's so awkward to be cherry-picking these numbers after all the touting they've done of the CBO to come out today and say, don't believe the CBO. Here's just an example of how laudatory they have been of the CBO on other issues. Watch.
I understand that suspicion, that skepticism. But the nonpartisan congressional watchdogs at the CBO estimate,
and I'm going to smile for this, I think you all noticed in the CBO, or I hope you did, the CBO report yesterday.
The CBO report that we have, that again, speaks so eloquently. I love numbers. They're so precise.
She loves the numbers, Charles.
They love numbers except when they come out on the wrong side. But here's why the Democrats are so upset about this obvious result. Because we know that Democrats like to redistribute income, and they pretend it's always from the rich to the poor. What the CBO has shown absolutely clearly is that when you raise the minimum wage, you're redistributing income from one set of low-income people to another set of low-income people. There are some who will get a raise and who'll be better off, but there are others who are going to lose their job, lose everything. As I said, going to go from $7 an hour to nothing, going to lose their opportunity. And the irony is that the winners get a marginal advantage, but for the losers, it's devastation. And you don't really think about this administration as sort of robbing the people it says it really wants to help. And that's why they have to run away from these numbers.
They maintain other studies have backed them up that this will not happen. They point to an example in New Jersey. Charles, great to see you.
Pleasure.